born an athlete, you'll die an athlete. It's in your DNA.
You're an athlete. Live like an athlete so that you can be successful in life.
You're an athlete. Live like it.
ANA, America needs athletes.
We are live. Well, not really live, but sort of live on camera. It'll be uploaded later. For all of you watching, it's not completely live. And we're rolling. What is wrong with did my chair get moved? There we go. Check, check.
Check, check, 1, 2.
Check, check. There we go.
Looking good.
Welcome, athletes, into the gym closet for another episode. We are back after a couple week hiatus. We had our little one, Porter grade. So Amber and I were both out. Amber is still out, which reminds me, we are filming this is on Tuesday. So happy belated Mother's Day to all of our athletes and coaches that are mothers. Huge shout out to everybody. Huge shout out to Amber. She is taking care of Porter, and she's got the brunt of the work right now, as he's just now kind of getting over to a bottle to where I can feed him a little bit. So we're hopefully in the next couple of weeks going to take some pressure off of her, but she's been feeding and waking up with him every couple hours. So huge shout out to her. She's not going to be in. She'll call in probably next week if she can etch out some time in her schedule and see how he's sleeping and stuff. But if this is your first time joining us, the Gym Closet is a Krave Gym podcast. We talk about how to live like an athlete, how to be successful in life, and how to be great. And that's kind of the definition of athlete in our vocabulary is greatness and how to live a great life. And so we talk about obviously the fitness side of things. We talk about in the gym activity, everything that we do, but then we also talk about outside of the gym and how to compete at work and how to be an athlete in the rest of your life. And so today is an exciting day. We have our new season just started. We just did our first challenge of the season. We had our training camp last week, which was a free week that was awesome for everybody. We have a ton of new athletes that are coming in the last month or so, which is amazing to see. So we're getting busy again, which we love. Everything's kind of starting to get back to normal a little bit. And then we had our championship not last weekend, but the weekend prior. So not Mother's Day weekend, but the weekend before that, we had our championship. So we'll start off kind of recapping. This episode is going to be a little bit shorter. We don't necessarily have a word of the week or a big message, but we're just going to recap some of what we've missed in the last couple weeks. We're going to recap the championship, and we're going to get into this season and talk about what our goals are and everything. So starting off, we have a championship recap. We were out at Valley View Park, which is awesome. We had a rowing challenge. We had a med ball throw team challenge. We had a tug of war challenge. We had a single overhead carry for distance challenge. So we had a ton of fun out there. We had a good show up, other than Waukee men did not represent. We only had a single guy.
Yeah, I've got a bone to pick with all my Waukee guys, and it's gonna be lecture time for everyone when I get back over there. I think I did the math too. I don't know if we want to go into. Do we want to talk about? Let's talk about winners first, and then I'll get into my lecture time.
I like it. Yeah. So huge shout out the men: Brian White, Damon Dixon, and Sam. Sam placed third, and he was the only guy that showed up from Waukee. He actually the men's team went to West Des Moines. But with that said, Sam put in an effort, and he won one of the challenges. And then the tug of war challenge as a team was very difficult for him because he had to go best 2 of 3. So he had to go 3 times against 3 different people. And so he was definitely not outmatched per se, but
He was at a big disadvantage.
He was at a
for
huge
sure,
disadvantage because he had to expend his energy 3 times the amount of everybody else. So he didn't quite make that challenge, and then ended up only losing by a couple points because of Brian and Damon's performances in the individual stuff. But he performed great in the individual as well, so he got 3rd overall. And almost brought the trophy to Waukee.
It was
just
very
a couple
close.
points. So.
Yeah, and I did the math here, and that's where we're getting into it. I did the math, and all it would have taken for the Waukee men to win the team championship because Sam. So we had 2 individual events and 2 team events. Sam won both team events by himself.
Yep.
And then, like you said, he placed in both of the individual events, obviously. All it would have taken for Waukee men to take on the trophy would be one other person showing up and finishing the individual events.
Just finishing?
All they had to do was show up and finish the individual events.
Well, no, they would have had to get top 5 in one of the individual events.
But we only had four guys show up, though. So they would have automatically been top 5.
Oh, they would have. No. Okay, so I do take that back. We went top 3 for those guys.
Well, never mind.
It was 3-2-1.
I take it back then.
But
still, the point stands.
Only they would have only had to place top 3 out of 5.
Right.
So they would have had to place top half in one of the individual events to make it to get points for their team points. So the way that the championship is scored, the individual ones are kind of like a strongman. So we had 5 people show up. You get 1 through 5. So like in order to win the individual, you have a person get 5th place, they get 1 point. The first place person gets 5 points. So if you win both events, you had 10 points. If you got 2nd in both events, you had 8 points, and so on. So then the top 3 for each event get team points as well, which is 3-2-1. So if you get 1st place in an event, you get 3 points for your team, 2nd place, and so forth. We want to go to top 5, but if we don't have the participation, we can't go top 5. When we do go top 5, basically, if you place 5th in any individual event, you will be scoring points for your team. So if we have 10 people there, if you get top half, you're scoring points for your team. So it's not necessarily. I mean, you're very selfish if you're not going to show up for your team.
You are.
You know what I mean?
You're all being very selfish. No, but that does bring up a good point though, because one of the big things that I hear a lot from people when we talk about the championship and asking who's going to come and stuff like that is really the biggest thing that I always hear from people about not coming is, oh well, I'm not going to win, so I'm just not going to come. Well, maybe first of all, you don't know that.
Right.
Second of all, it's also a lot of fun. So you're missing out on a lot of fun and a lot of a good team atmosphere and getting back into that competitive mindset, which is really fun for a lot of people. But third, if you can squeak out a 5th place finish in one event, say we have 8 people show up, and you can get 5th place in one of those events, you can score a team point for Waukee or West Des Moines. And I mean, the last, I don't know how many championships in a row.
A couple points.
A lot of, yeah. I mean, we're talking about, 22-20 as far as points being scored. Yeah. So, I mean, 1 point, if you can squeak out a 5th place finish in one event, that could win the team event.
Yeah.
So that's one thing, too, that I think we need to kind of get over that mindset. A lot of people of, well, I'm not going to get 1st place in everything, so I'm just not going to.
Right. Or I'm not going to. A lot of people think that I'm not going to place top 3 as an individual, and so I think that that's a misconception as well, because you don't need to place. You could place 4th every single individual event, and then help your team win the team events, and your 4th place is going to get you 2 points for your team. Every single event. That's 4 points for your team if we have 2 individual events like last championship.
Right.
And 4 points for your team last time would have won it for Waukee.
So
so keep that in mind. We gotta get more people. The women had a great turnout.
They did.
And that was a 1 point discrepancy. So let's jump into the women. The championship for the women for strength in numbers. Lindsay Hilmer won the first place. Dana got second. And so shout out to Sam and Dana, a little power couple.
Seriously, yeah.
And then Tammy got third. Well, shout out to Tammy and Brian, another power couple.
Another one, yeah. Look at this.
Both placed. So Tammy got third. And again, it was a 1-point team victory. They split the teams, and then the individual scoring for Waukee was 1 point shy of beating West Des Moines. So the trophies stay at West Des Moines for another season.
For this one.
Yeah.
Next time, though.
Then we got a Condition and Conquer season championship coming up. It's going to be an awesome one. That kind of leads us into the challenges for this season. So this season is, let's just talk about the season for a little bit. The season, this season is Condition to Conquer. It's an endurance season, but it's a HIIT endurance season. So a lot of people were asking, okay, are we doing the long distance type of running like we do for Heart and Hustle? And the answer for that is no. We're doing all sprints all day long, 20 seconds on, 20 seconds off type of true Tabata all season. That's even in strength. And so in strength, we want to make sure that we're getting a weight that's a little bit lighter. We're working on that muscle endurance, and we're going 20 seconds on, 20 seconds off, trying to accumulate as many reps as we can with certain weights. So that kind of gets into our scorecards or our lifting cards. For the lifting cards, make sure that we have two columns. We have a reps column and a weight column for every day in strength. So if I'm doing one arm snatch, I'm going to be counting my accumulative reps for the 20 seconds on. And so I'm going to go 20 seconds on where I'm going, maybe I get 10 reps. If then I rest 20 seconds, the next 20 seconds, say I get 9 reps, that's 19 total reps. I want to keep my entire rep range and keep count for the entire reps. Write those reps in at whatever weight. That means next time that you do that workout, you can either try to keep the same weight. If it was a difficult weight for you, you can keep the same weight and increase reps. Or if you thought that the weight was a little bit too easy and you were repping it out and you weren't super challenged, you can go up in weight and try to match your reps that you hit the week before or 2 weeks prior. And so that's what we're tracking for our muscle endurance for our Condition to Conquer. And a little side note. So Fee over here, I guess he was a Waukee athlete as well before, but now he's at West Des Moines. He participated in, so shout out Fee, he participated in a pump and run at a different CrossFit gym that they had like a competition. He ended up winning that. And I would attribute that, and he attributes that to doing more reps and not always just being like stopping at 10 reps when you're training. You know, we're one of the only programs that I know that like has the rep ranges changing. And so when we're doing 15 to 20 reps, or we're doing like an accumulative rep like we are this season, that's helping you in a lot of different things. So what his competition was, he had to bench his body weight however many times he could. He ended up getting like 30, and then he had to run a mile. So for every rep, you took off like 15 seconds or a certain amount of time off of your mile time. And so his mile time, he said, wasn't the greatest. He's not a big runner, but because he lifts here, because he has that muscle endurance, he was able to get the reps that brought his time down to win him the competition. So it's kind of cool to see those things. So huge shout out to Fee. But this endurance season's already started off really fun. It's a really a big difference as far as the format of the clock and everything as we go. And so it's been a huge success so far, and people are getting killed. The first day when we did our burpee challenge, it was or our burpee day.
That first day, which that's today. For anyone's coming in later, that's so today.
Good luck.
So
that was last Monday when we started the season off with our burpee active rest, which is more active than rest, but it is what it is. So then we get into like reformatting kind of our challenges, and so our challenges are fun. And this time around, we're going to be able to give you the same challenge in multiple different weeks. So if you stay the same schedule, you'll get it every other week. You'll get it on Monday, next week's Tuesday, the following week's Wednesday, the next week's Thursday, and so on. And so if you go consistently Monday, Wednesday, Friday, you'll get it every other week. But you're able to then write down your weight on your lifting card and try to beat that, write down your time on your lifting card and try to beat that time every single time that we do this challenge. So the challenge is our Condition to Conquer challenge. We're going 250 row. We're going 20 down and back on the bench jump overs, and we're going 250 row. And we had some awesome times. We have the top 10 that we'll go through today. But I just kind of wanted to talk about the format of what our challenges are now that are different. We used to do a different challenge every time. But the problem with that was you don't see that same challenge until you do it again, maybe even a year from now. So being able to do this, you can compete not only with the scoreboard, the top 10, the top 20, but then also compete with your own score and try to get better times each time that we're doing it. So it's a season challenge. We're still looking for a nickname. So I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm calling it C2C, Condition to Conquer challenge right now. But if anyone like the pump and run or anything like that, some kind of fun challenge, if anyone has a nickname for us, let us know. We'll be able to rename that challenge. But so our shout out over, I think that we're outperforming over here at West Des Moines
for this first one.
But... So we got to make sure that we're keeping track not only of our times over at West Des Moines, but also trying to keep track of Waukee so we can continue to beat them up. But the guys, we have a top time with Damon at 155, and then the 10th best time is at 2:17. What do we got over at Waukee?
Yes, top time at Waukee is we got 2:15, and then our threshold right now for the top 10 is 2:40 right now. So we got a couple guys tied at 2:40, which
nice.
Can I also say that 155 is just insane? Like,
yeah,
that's blistering.
Yes,
that's nuts.
Yeah, he was rolling. It was funny. He was like, I told him right when he broke that record, I go, breaking records today, and he's like, I feel like I'm gonna puke, but now I'm gonna have to break my own record. And I was like, I like that attitude. I feel like I'm gonna puke, but let's step it up a notch next time.
That time is nuts though.
Yeah, that time is gonna be the time to beat. It's 13 seconds faster than the second place. So we have some room to move. So it'll be interesting as we move into next week's challenge. Next week it'll be on Tuesday, but we'll try to get into some challenges and see where we're at on those. But for the females over at West Des Moines, we have Lindsay Hilmer. She's at 220. Second place is at 228. So it's a little tighter over here for the first and second. And then the threshold for the 10th place is at 256. So we have a couple people tied at 256. What does it look like over at Waukee?
Yes, Waukee, we got Elizabeth Buckingham, winner yesterday. So she got 230. Awesome. Threshold, we got 305 right now. We did get, Maddie Beeler, she got 233. So we got really close for the ladies over there for the top time. So yeah, good times all around, really.
Awesome. Yeah, those are, and it's blistering. Like it's that competition from what I've heard. Like I haven't done it as hard as I can do it yet, but it just in watching it and talking to all the athletes, it's one of those that you don't expect to just be lungs burning, heart rate going nuts,
though.
But it's awesome.
Yeah.
So,
and like you said, we're doing it all season long too. So get ready for it. Yep. The other thing too that we kind of wanted to point out too for the challenge, I know, is as far as kind of our, for those of you that don't know, and I know we kind of talked about it in Waukee, we're kind of restructuring our challenge setup and how we do everything. So like we talked about, we're going to be doing the same challenge now all season long. So like we said, our Condition to Conquer challenge, we're doing every week, different days of the week, but every week all season long so we can measure that progress. And then with that too, from now on, just so you guys can kind of know what to expect, it's going to be the first thing we do all together right off the bat, every single workout. So when it's a challenge day, that's what we're doing. It's a challenge
day. It's a team challenge. Yep.
It's not something that we're going to be, dividing up into our groups and kind of throwing a challenge in for a rotation and trying to fit it in where we can and, get that challenge in and get back on with our workout. The challenge, that's the thing to do today. And then everything else will kind of, get into place afterwards. So, my morning sessions yesterday, for example, we had, 3 big groups, so it took us 2 full rotations, So the nice thing with that too is that really allows people to, really bust their butt for 3 minutes as hard as they possibly can. But then, you get, 7, 8, 9 minutes to recover if you're in the first or second group. And then, then we get on and we get, 4 more rotations of our workout in, but we just want to kind of frame it now as, when we have our challenge days, that is the focus of the day is the challenge.
Yep. So and we have a full 2 months. We have 8 weeks, 7 weeks left for these challenges, and so we want to make sure that we're pushing ourselves as hard as we can, try to push these times down as much as we can, and break some records. Damon said it the best: is if you aren't breaking the team records, maybe you're not competing with Damon at 155, which is easy thing to
That's fast.
That's fast.
That's fast. Yeah.
So, but breaking your own record is the biggest thing. So if you know what your time was, write it down on your sheet every time. That way, the second time you can say, okay, I'm knocking 4 or 5 seconds off of this every time I do it, because we want to get better. We want to perform and get progress every single time that we do this challenge. As athletes, that's our biggest thing. We want to compete against our team, against the other location, and then also against ourselves every time we do it. So
absolutely, yeah. And I know in Waukee yesterday we had a lot of people, after the sessions asking, what time they got, wanted to write it down. So that's exactly what we want. We want you guys to know what your time is week 1, so that way, again, you people that came in on Monday yesterday, you'll be getting it not next week, but the week after on Wednesday. So know your time, have it in mind, and then when you're, getting after it, and when you're in the middle of that challenge, try to knock 5, 8, 10 seconds off, and again, like Tyler said, not necessarily trying to shoot for maybe that top time. Not everyone's going to be able to shoot for that, but beat what you did before, and then pushing your teammates as well.
Right.
That's the other cool thing, and
that was fun.
That was
too,
a really cool
we had a
atmosphere
lot of
we had
people,
yesterday. Yeah.
Clapping up your teammates, cheering them on, finishing, and everybody cheering and clapping. So it was a lot of fun.
Oh, for sure.
We will also have weekly top 10s at each location, as well as a running total top 10. So one day might be down. We might not have a performance next week of 155, but that still gives you the opportunity to hit the top 10 of the day. The top 10 of the day next week might be 215.
Right.
And so if you're at that 215, you can win that day, as well as then trying to compete to win the best time of the season, which is going to be a top 20 men, top 20 women of the entire thing accumulated. So we're going to keep putting those times in, keep clocking them in, and then be able to rock and roll after that. So this season also, our power partner is Special Olympics. So we want to give a huge shout out to Special Olympics. We will be doing an event with them June 12th, but normally we would do their Summer Olympics and help them out with that. But they are doing that virtually this year, so we will not be going to Ames to help them out. But virtually, we're going to be doing some cool stuff for them, doing some videos, some things that we can put together for them to cheer everybody on and congratulate everybody that is competing virtually for the Special Olympics. But our event that we're going to be doing is going to be an outdoor event. It's going to be at Kinship Brewery, 9:30 a.m. Saturday, June 12th. If you want to jump in there, we'll list the link below, but you can go to craveathlete.com, purchase that. It's $10. That's going to get you a drink ticket, get you the training, and also then we'll have donation for Special Olympics. We'll donate out of that $10, but then we'll also have an opportunity to donate at the event if you want to donate to the Special Olympics. So we're super excited to get that event together. It's a train together event. So we will be having athletes from Special Olympics that feel comfortable to train with us. It'll be outdoor, spaced out, but they will be training with us in that environment. So it's going to be really, really cool to be able to put that together and train with some of the best Special Olympics athletes that Iowa has to offer. And it's just fun. Then we're going to hang out afterwards. Grab some lunch, grab a drink if you would like, and just hang out as a team. So I like these events as they continue to build. I want to continue to get as many people involved as possible. We'll have our power partner, Special Olympics, will be there obviously, but then we're also going to have our business partners with Rock Valley, with Sam Huey, and some different representatives of different businesses there with us as well to kind of educate you guys on what they do with us. So Sam is kind of our gym's PT, and so if you have any questions, any injuries that you might need physical therapy for or something like that, he's the place to go. He knows how we train, and he can help out with all of that. So yes, we'll be getting into that event June 12th, Saturday. It's at 9 a.m. So, and Kinship Brewery is out west in Waukee. It's kind of out west.
Yeah, it's like the northwest. Yeah, it's at the northwest corner. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Kind of across from the new high school. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I've never been to the new high school either. So
I know the new high school is nuts out there. Yeah, we just drove through it a couple days ago.
Did
The
you?
stadium
Okay.
is in the ground.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Damn, I need to
Football
get out
stadium
there.
is dug into the ground. Yeah.
So if I go out on University, if I go west out on University, where do
I
I
would go down Hickman,
go? Okay.
and then I don't know what the street is. It's like the street that I'm living on basically now, so I don't know what it is. But
Okay.
you go down Hickman, and I think the last
Hickman,
last
that's what I
street
was
of
thinking of. Yeah.
Waukee. I mean, you'll see it if you drive down Hickman. You'll see it. It's
there's like
it's
a
like
car
a big
dealership
complex.
way out there.
There's a car dealership, and you go north.
Okay.
That car dealership, yeah. I mean, it's a complex. You know, it's
Really?
like a whole campus.
I
Almost,
can't believe
yeah.
I haven't seen that. I'll have to get
It's
out
nuts,
there.
yeah.
Yeah,
It's
cool.
really crazy.
I'm excited to go check that out. And Kinship's right by there?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, perfect. So get your tickets online, craveathlete.com. Get those purchased and get your drink tickets when everybody shows up that day. We'll get some training in. Then we will get some food and get some grub. So get some drinks. Anything else that we got today? Big thing I just wanted to cover is the championship and the new season. So let's continue to have an amazing season. This is one, we have a lot more calorie burn. It's tough. It's challenging. It's mentally going to wear you down. And because it is so tough, continue to stay motivated, continue to have that discipline to continue to come in and get the results that you're looking for. Because this one, there's a lot of times you might know what's coming up and you might say, oh, I don't feel like doing 18 sets of burpees, but coming in, getting it done, knowing that you accomplished something when you're done with it is huge. So yeah, make sure that we're staying consistent throughout this season and enjoying some endurance HIIT style. So,
Oh yeah,
awesome. All right, that's all we have for you. And remember, you're an athlete. Live like it.
Born an athlete, you'll die an athlete. It's in your DNA.
You're an athlete. Live like an athlete so that you can be successful in life.
You're an athlete. Live like it.
ANA, America needs athletes.